Lisa is the Humane Education Manager at the Detroit Zoological Society. She served on the Board of Directors for the Association for Professional Humane Educators and the Michigan Alliance for Environmental and Outdoor Education. Lisa graduated from Michigan State University with a Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education and received her Master's in Education, Humane Education, with a focus on animal welfare. And I will say this, actually working with Lisa and hearing what she does, it's changed my mind and my thinking on a lot of things. So thank you.
Thank you. What a nice introduction. So I'm here to talk to you about our Academy for Humane Education and how we're helping people to help animals. So I'm going to take a moment first to talk about what humane education is. I can't tell you how many times people say, oh, what is that? A little bit of our pedagogy and the practices that we do here, and then one example, potentially two, to kind of show you some of the work that we're doing. So Zoe Weil, president of the Institute for Humane Education, summarizes humane education in her book, The Power and Promise for Humane Education, a lot of humane education, as this. I like it, it's a good overall concise definition, so I'll read it verbatim. Humane education explores how we might live with compassion and respect for everyone, not just our friends and neighbors, but all people, not just our own dogs and cats, but all animals, and not just our own homes, but also the earth itself, our ultimate home. And then we further define it here as humane education provides people with information and tools to make knowledgeable decisions on how to walk softly and treat the earth's creatures gently. So many people, if they've heard of humane education, they've heard of it in the capacity of humane society, so potentially dogs and cats and companion animals. But humane education in its broad-based sense, or its comprehensive sense, is much grander than that. So concentrations of humane education are animal welfare for all animals, which makes the zoo the perfect setting for it. Environmental protection, it also delves into human rights and social justice, as well as cultural issues. So here at the zoo, we do primarily focus on animals and the environment. So what's the purpose of humane education? Why do it? Well, it's to help us to be mindful of our impact on others and also to develop an ethic of being humane. And at the same time, helping to cultivate and nourish the best qualities and traits that we possess as humans. So I kind of want to ask you, what do you think as a human species are some of our best characteristics? You can just call them out. Creativity, absolutely. Cooperation. Problem solving, yes, and we do have a lot. Myself and a number of humane educators have posed this question a number of times, and consistently, these are the things that we get. These are the things that we want to nourish through humane education. Kindness, compassion, humor is huge for me, wisdom, integrity, and one of my favorites is our willingness to choose and change. As we acquire new information, we have the ability to change our actions, and that behavioral change is such a key piece to humane education. So a little bit of background. So 4 principles of humane education. The first one is to provide accurate information for sound decisions. This really enables us to make connections between our everyday actions, the things that we're purchasing, the activities that we're participating in, and the potential for connecting them to potential animal welfare issues, for example. Looking at our more holistically, at how we have the potential to impact people, animals, and the planet. Fostering the 3 C's, curiosity, being curious about the world around us, wanting to inquire, wanting to know more. Creative, being creative in our ways of which we're able to solve the problems that we're facing. And then critical thinking is so key. Instilling the 3 R's, so reverence, which I think we have an awesome opportunity here at the zoo to help instill reverence for all generations, but particularly with young ones. We're not going to necessarily delve into these issues that we're facing in the world. And so we're going to work on reverence and the things that we revere, the things that we're passionate about, the things that we care about. Those are the things we're going to want to work to make a difference for. Also instilling respect and ultimately responsibility. And then lastly, and this is what makes humane education so important, is then offering positive choices and tools for problem solving. I might have thought back in the day just having the knowledge, just knowing about these issues was enough to help motivate people to change behaviors, but not necessarily. Without knowing what to do, it's so key that we help to offer those positive choices and tools for problem solving. So 4 goals of humane education here at the zoo, although as we continue to evolve, our goals will likely change, but at the moment, helping people understanding issues affecting both individual animals as well as entire species, so key. Instilling values of respect, responsibility, and compassion for all creatures. Helping people to understand issues affecting animals, and then to review actions and choices that can help to reduce our ecological footprint. And then lastly, promoting learning about humane concepts. So it's an integral part of everything that we do here. I may be the only person that has humane education in my title, but we're all here promoting humane education. It's the ethic, it's the lens through which we do things. So just a quick couple of examples. We do have the Humane Science Lab, which I hope you'll visit upstairs. We do lots of different things in there. We have alternative dissecting equipment. We have a set of 20 laptops that has, for example, frog dissection software, fetal, pig, cat, the typical things that you would dissect in primary and secondary schools. We also have a lot of literature, a lot of texts and films for people to be able to learn more about the issues that we're faced with. We also have a wonderful mural that we worked with local artists to create that have 3 different facets. One wall is focused on our nation ecological footprints. We have portraits of the rescued animals, rescued animals that we've had here at the zoo throughout the years and currently. And then the last wall is this huge Shades of Humane wall, and really looking at the impact we're having on the planet, both positive and negative. It's been a really great educational tool. So this program is near and dear to my heart, although I say that about everything that I do here. But this is our Humane Education Horticulture program that a colleague of mine and I have been doing for over 5 years now, which is hard for me to believe. But we're working with teen boys between the ages of 12 to 17 years of age who have been incarcerated and are at a local juvenile detention facility. We primarily work with one cottage, which is low security facility, but we also do work with some of the young men in the lockdown facility as well. And the reason why we wanted to work with this population, there's a huge amount of research that's been done in humane education and looking at the connection between how we interact with other species and how we interact then with humans. If you look at somebody that's potentially committed a really horrible crime, if you look back in their history, many times they've often started by dominating over animals who aren't going to talk back. But the reverse is also true. If we can help to cultivate empathy and compassion and respect for other species, that can carry out into our interactions with other humans as well. So hoping to mitigate the desensitization that can happen if we're cruel toward animals. There's a number of things we've done with this program. I'll just mention a couple of them. Even at the end of the first year, you can have all the planning in place and think it's going well. And we had a number of successes, but we still had some of the boys that didn't want any wildlife in the garden. And part of the purpose of doing that is to help instill reverence for the natural world around us and working to live in harmony with the animals that share our neighborhoods. And so we were looking to see what can we do to help inspire some more reverence and respect for the animals. And fortunately, we had a really wonderful grant, and I was able to purchase 20 digital cameras. And I think this was one of the most successful things that we've done. Giving the boys the cameras, allowing them to go out and explore the grounds and seeing these animals from behind the lens has been so impactful. And you can see, I love this picture, that sunflower is a sunflower they grew from seed and the bee that's landed on it that they're wanting to capture through photographs. We do a number of different wildlife-friendly projects, including things like citizen science and whatnot. So you have to remember the boys aren't often able to leave their facility, so much of what we have to do is bring it to them, bring nature to them. So, putting the bird feeder on the windowsill or the birdhouse, or doing activities around where they can look out of their windows and see these things. I'm going to skip those for now. And then also, switching gears just for a moment, we do a number of professional development opportunities. We just had 40 educators here from around the area this past Saturday in a day-long workshop surrounding humane education. We see hundreds. We're currently working with quite a few educators from around the area. And additionally, we've also, in the lower left-hand side, you can see last year we had the opportunity to host and organize the Association for Professional Humane Educators National Conference, which was really great to have that convening here and helping to spread humane education. So So as a quick overview, I'm so happy to talk to any of you. For the sake of time, I just do want to call out that in your packets you do have a Humane Education brochure. All of my contact information is on the back. I would love to hear from any of you, as well as I'll be here through the remainder of the conference, so feel free to come seek me out. I did want to leave you with a quote from our film, From Animal Showboat to Animal Lifeboat, which you can watch online, or I'd be happy to give you a copy. If you go to czaw.org, you can find it under the multimedia section, and James Earl Jones narrated it for us, so how can you go wrong with that? But one of my favorite quotes from the film is, "Being compassionate isn't scientific, but it's our responsibility and also our opportunity to make the earth a more humane place for all creatures, great and small." And what a really wonderful opportunity that is for us. So with that, thank you.